Hello and welcome back to Spoonful of Jelly. My name is Lauren and today we're going to be talking about some of the 2024-2025 school year curriculum for our son. But today we're going to talk about three I consider non-core for such a young age, and that will be science, social studies, and the morning basket. So let's get into the morning basket. So this is the first year I'm actually going to use a basket. I picked it up for like $2 at the Goodwill, so why not? Beforehand, it was just piled up on the shelf of things that we want to do with our son first thing in the morning. Right after breakfast and before we get into any subjects, what are the most important things that we want to introduce? I heard someone say, if all hell broke loose after the morning basket, would you have considered it a functional day? And I think the way we have it set up, it will be. So right here in this basket, the first thing we have is a devotional. This particular devotional I picked up for the library so that we could thumb through it now, and I'll see if we want to use it for the school year. My husband thinks it's kind of cool. Yeah, so we'll get an opinion on it. If not, I have another devotional for my son in mind for this school year if this one is not panning out to what we are looking for. He is still young. He's a 6 going on 7-year-old, and so he needs something that's still engaging and fun and very, very short. My son is also a part of Awana, and so that weekly program comes with weekly Bible verses. He will practice those verses every single week, and we'll take the time after the Bible lesson to practice that week's verse so that he can go to his program on Wednesdays and say his verse and participate in activities. On Father Fridays, my husband will be working through this story. It's called One Big Story, Seek and Circle Bible Battles. It is all about the armor of God. And so each page of this is a seek and find. They give you a list of pictures, and you have to find those pictures within the storybook, and I'll show you the inside of it. And so it has a Bible story related to, I believe, the Old Testament. Mostly of them are in the Old Testament. And so that our son can have a general idea of the different battles, and that it wasn't all smooth sailing back in the day. Lots and lots of fighting. Like what we have going on today. Lots and lots of fighting. And then next, I kick it back old school style. Yes, I do. And that is tons of workbooks that have games and activities in it. Back in the day, in the 80s, we called it bell work. I don't even know if they do that anymore for kids. But we do it in this house because I like puzzles and games. And so we wanted to make sure that he had the same thing. He has been doing this. This is his 3rd year. He did it for kindergarten, 1st grade, and now 2nd grade. He has done games and puzzles early in the morning. Get their brain going. And sometimes they come with fun chuckles. So we're going to kick it off with something very simple, which is highlights, seek, and find. We love these. My husband and I even do them. We don't color it, but we sit next to him to see if we can find them just as quickly. On phonics, this is the 1st grade level. I had another version of this last year he worked through, and then another version. This is the 2nd one. These activities are more in the language arts phonics level, but they're all games, all activities and games. Read a story, play a game. These other ones are read the story with the picture and some of the words. So we will do this book. Another kind of fun one is a word hunt or word search. This is very beginner phonics level, and they start off with using short A. He did start this puzzle. Short A sound, A-N sound, and work up to words that have IP or J. I think the last one are words with Z sounds, such as gauze, breeze, maze, frizz. Quite difficult. So he should have fun with this as he learns how to do crossword puzzles. And then analogies. These are math analogies. So 2 dots is equal to 2, which is the same as 4 dots is equal to, and he has read the number 4. These kind of analogy pages. This is beginning level, and I think it works its way all the way to the SATs. So if your child is struggling as a teenager with analogies, you might have to go on back to certain beginning levels to get their brain worked on that so they can get it. Another one is Amazing Mazes. You guys, who doesn't like a maze puzzle? Even walking through mazes. We do a maze every year in the cornfields. We love it, getting lost like that. It's so much fun trying to figure out a puzzle, whether to go left or right. So this is a similar one, except for it's for phonics. And so they'll give you a little rule at the top. Y is a consonant. Read each word to follow the path of the words in which Y is a consonant, such as yellow. And you have to draw the line, and whether you go left or right depends on what word is presented. So, already falling apart. So that was the last one of the Amazing Races. The goal is for him to work through one book a whole entire month, and then the next month we'll switch the book out. All right. Then we're going to work on reading to him. His social studies, which we'll get into, is going to have a ton of read alouds, and this is when I'll take the time to read aloud to him. I pulled out one example, which is Robin Hood, and so I will read the book to him according to whatever's going on in social studies. And once I finish reading, probably about 20 minutes, a chapter or two, he might get antsy, which will allow him to draw in color while I read out loud to him. But yeah, so we'll handle the read aloud at that time. Then onward is his read aloud. This is the book that he needs to read out loud to us that's on level to his reading ability. These type of books are so much fun because we try to keep them light. We do 3 levels: on his level, above his level, and below his level. So he'll have full control of these books. His language arts program does have reading books to them, so we will switch them out here and there. But most of the time, the morning basket is going to be the fun book mostly he gets from the library, his books. And the last and not least, these highlight magazines can take place of the reader. The point of the highlight magazines is that 1, I got a bunch of them for free, and then 2, they're so much fun, and then 3, sometimes children really just not in the mood to read out loud, and I understand that and I respect that. So for him to take a magazine and thumb through it, words will pop out to his mind and his eyes, and it'll kind of create a lot of questions. Mom, what's this? And what does this say? So on those days that he is truly reluctant to read out loud, he is more than welcome to pull out a highlight magazine and thumb through that for a few minutes of quiet time before we dive into our core lessons. Let's move on. All right. So once a week, our son attends a co-op, and that co-op is functioning almost like a private school. We drop him off in the morning and we pick him up in the afternoon. He has lunch and recess there, gym class there, art class, and then the other classes that he has is a science and a social studies. We have chosen those 2 classes for him because he gets a fun book and the teachers load up the class with tons of activities. Last year, science took a huge role because the science teacher lessons were very in-depth. She's going to be the same this year. She is Miss Frizzle in person form, in our opinion. And so this year she has chosen Heaven and Earth for Beginners by Master Books. The Master Books, or the God Design series, is fun. It's jam-packed with activities and worksheets, and I'll give you guys a flip through in a moment. But it gives you the opportunity to point out vocabulary that's brand new to the child, activities that bring that vocabulary, and then actual labs. So we will totally enjoy working through this book. We're going to have some activities for him at home that's outside of the co-op. Some of them will include read alouds, such as these two. I just pulled out a couple. And this one is Science with Air. And what's smaller than a pygmy shrew. So these workbooks, we will also include like science kits that I have a couple of. I'll show you those. And then we also will use the very back of the book that has some activities. His teacher is known to do a lot of those activities in the back of this book, so I won't have to put too much pressure on myself to do those because she does a ton of them. One thing that we will do is notebook through this textbook. There's plenty of opportunities. My son loves to draw, and so to be able to draw the water cycle out in a manner that he can understand every single layer is more important than it is to complete these worksheets that's in this book. So we will take the time, either use this one or have a different version I could get my hands on, but that will be science for him. So we will attack science about 3 days a week, one being at the co-op and 2 other days at home, where we'll spend probably a good 45 minutes to an hour drawing, reading, or playing with some of these activities. That is science. The teacher at his co-op taught him social studies for his first grade level, and she will be his same teacher again for the second grade level. And this year she has chosen by Master Books, My Story, My Country, My World. And this book, oh my goodness, guys, I'm so excited. As an international traveler, I have gone to, I forgot, 7 different countries, and my passport is itching for more traveling. This book is going to bring it alive. And so, for me, hopefully for my son, but definitely for me. It is a country around the world each week, and there's so many activities in the book. Let me give you an example. Here's a word search, seek and find. And here is the flag that they get to color. Let's see. They do have some vocabulary and pictures of children from that particular country and area. Yeah, tons. It's very vibrant, very pretty. So I'm very excited for them to walk through this. This book goes to his co-op, and she will be doing all the different activities that are in this book, a lot of the reading. So what are we going to do at home? We're going to make it much more fun. Starting with the All Around the World coloring book. This one is by Dover Coloring Books. This book is set up. They have the country. And I happen to turn to Israel and Italy. So you have the map of the country. It points out the capital and where it's located, important monuments and buildings in that country, some fast facts at the bottom, and their flag. So this book does not have as many countries as his textbook, but we will, every time we meet that one, we'll find this page, we'll walk through, talk about it, color it, and that'll be fun. Then, once a week or every other week, we'll find the different countries that we have covered and check out Around the World Arts and Activities book. This is by the Williamson Little Hands book. These activities in here are gentle, fun enough. They typically have items that you have around the house, or if you don't have it around the house, the dollar store will have it, like a paper bag. You have scissors around the house. So it identifies the country that this activity comes from. There is a postcard on each page that gives a description of why this activity applies to that country. Like, oh, I ran across some elephants. And where is this? Sub-Saharan Africa. So this book does have a lot more countries in it than the coloring book. So if we can't color that particular country, then we would definitely do the activity from here and take a picture of it so we can add it to his portfolio. Every single week before we dive into that particular country, I will try my best to bring in some storybooks. Ta-da! You can tell that we are definitely a library family. So this one, Bringing the Rain to Kapiti Plain, is one that is about, I believe, Central Africa. Three Strong Women. This is a tale about Japan. I have about a dozen different country books, and whatever I don't have from whatever country, I will seek and find, head to the library or visit thrift books so that we can have a storybook from every single country that we're covering in this textbook. And this textbook has some really good, they don't just cover Africa as a continent, they actually break down so many different countries. It's 50 countries in Africa, a little 50 countries in Africa, so I don't expect every country in Africa to be identified, but I was pretty glad that they just didn't say, here's Egypt, here's Morocco, and then move on. No, they actually grabbed some of these Central African countries to learn about. And then Around the World in 80 Tales. I adore this book. We have read through a couple of them, and so we would definitely find the country. For example, this is Paraguay, told in the whole. We will read through this story and talk about it. Here's another one from Brazil, The Three Oranges. These are fairy tales that are popular in each country. Some of them could be a little outdated because I noticed that fairy tales is fading with this last couple generations. People don't want to tell the fairy tales, but I thought this was well put together, and they even include United States in the very back. So we'll find a country that we're talking about for the week and read the tales. I have plans to mix this textbook along with a non-Christian company, a secular company, and I have no problems with this company. I've used them in the past, and that is Build Your Own Library. They do a wonderful job of tying in storybooks, tales, arts and crafts. We have the animal book that has different animals around the world from Natural Geographic. And what else? Oh, and then the cookbook. I'll put a picture of it right here. So my husband and my son will be cooking together from that cookbook from whichever country we're working on that week on Fridays. And Mama gets a day off. I don't have to cook. I'll just grocery shop for whatever they need. But we will tie these two curriculums together. So what we do at home will be Build Your Own Library, and then what he does at school will be the Master Books, My Story. And so that enables us to include more things that are relevant for that particular country on the cultural side. This textbook has a lot of factual information that is leveled for lower elementary, and I respect that. But when it comes to the cultural part, it's so much fun to realize this is what children wore. This is where children live. This is what their homes look like. Do you notice some facial features or facial feature differences? Do you notice that they cook on this particular stove and they make this particular meal on that stove? And how similar and different that is to this country or another country? So that's where Build Your Own Library comes in. She does a wonderful job making sure that children understand and dive deep in that. So this activity, social studies and science, will be done twice a week at home, and then of course on Wednesdays at their co-op, and then the morning basket is every single morning that we have it. Yes, so we are really excited about the fall time and getting cranked up. If you're wondering what we're doing in the summer, check out this video here. You want to know what other core curriculum that we are working on, you can check out this video over here. And I hope you guys are having a great day. What are you working on for your 24-25 school year? If your children are schooled, do you know what they're working on? Is it something you could do at home to liven up that particular subject that they either find boring or difficult? Put the power in your hands. I'll see you guys here next time. Take care and be safe. Bye.